People are always like, how did you guys come upon having the confidence you have, the self-esteem that you have, considering the fact that you grew up in an area that, there's a lot of pressure, right, to look a certain way. We grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s when it was just like, Paris Hilton mania, and it was all about being a
Which
certain
I
look.
thrived at.
Hunter thrived because she literally looked like Paris Hilton.
I did.
Insert a photo.
Insert a photo of me looking like we even posed exactly like. Like
Yeah.
I remember me and my best friend Janessa, we thought for real that we were Paris and Nikki.
Yeah.
And we would go to Beverly Hills because mom was so bougie and would get her hair done at what was the name of
Jose Hebert.
Okay.
It was Jose Hebert.
Jose Hebert.
It's actually Jose, can you believe?
Oh.
I know. You would think it was Jose.
Wow.
But
Is it still there?
yeah, absolutely.
Which
It's on
was like
Rodeo.
very expensive and very bougie. And we would go down, I would wear big glasses, a Von Dutch hat, a Juicy Couture tracksuit, and absolutely thrive. And people would actually kind of turn their head thinking it was maybe Paris Hilton. In my head, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they were definitely thinking you were Paris Hilton.
With absolutely no paparazzi around.
Not one single person. It was just someone accidentally, their camera went off on accident.
And
Hunter
then
was
from
like,
there.
oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, we've got to put a stop to the paparazzi. They just have like no boundaries.
Which also is so funny, and I do want to get to that, to people thinking that they are getting attention, because we were talking about this the other day, how we all have gone to a concert and thought that the singer was
looking at us.
And Mom, I know you have too with Elvis. And we all kind of have lived the same life, right? Like we have not one single
Unique experience.
Yeah. Mom, you actually did something. I want you to tell your Elvis story. I think that it's so iconic, and your Frank Sinatra story.
It was funny because when we were young, my dad would take us to see Elvis in Vegas. Back in the day, I guess it was the early 70s.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
One thing about me is I think my mom is either 50 or in her late 80s.
Yeah.
Well, these stories are so ancient, I don't know who really wants to hear them, but the Frank Sinatra one was pretty cool because my dad loved these guys, and so there was just audiences filled with women in Vegas for both Frank Sinatra and Elvis. But the Frank one was cute because my dad said he would give me $50 if I would climb over the paparazzi rope and get his autograph.
I love that.
And I was like 10 or 11, and I was pretty
it.
scrappy, and I'd do pretty much anything for $50.
Well,
Right?
nothing
Honestly,
has changed, and now I know where Hunter gets it from.
Yeah, I'll do anything for a 50.
Hunter will do anything for a 50 spot, let me tell you guys.
Yeah, so and I was a scrappy girl. I wasn't, I was kind of tomboyish and scrappy, so I jumped the paparazzi rope or whatever.
Oh my God.
And the guards are like coming after me, and Frank Sinatra's like, wait, no, let her come over. Oh. And so I ran up to him and I was like, can I get your autograph? And I didn't tell him I was getting a 50.
He probably would have loved that, though.
Yeah. He was just the sweetest, kindest man. And they were all so sweet. They let me sit and visit with him for a little bit.
Oh my God.
And we just hung out. And I just said, I just, love you. And we're here. I'm here with my family. And he gave me the autograph. I ran back and climbed the ropes. And back I went at it. And I
busted off your boots and on your way.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's something so good, though, about, like, using your children for this.
Yes.
Because who's going to take out a kid,
Right.
I mean, these days, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past anyone, but I feel like back in the day, no one's going to take out, like, a 6-year-old running in. You know what I mean? It's like, just go ahead and let them go.
I love that story. It's a very... It's just very Frank Sinatra.
It was so old school. The Vegas and the International Hotel is what it was called. And that's where the old days sort of Vegas things really were happening.
And what about your Elvis story?
Well, so that gave me a lot of confidence, thinking I was sort of like, if I can do that, if I could.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
If I could be with Frank there, I could be with Frank or anyone, anywhere.
Yeah.
So we were going to see Elvis like the following year. So I thought, gee, what am I going to do for Elvis? Because I was one of the only children in the audience. And we went a couple of times, so I kind of figured he was getting to know me
Right, of course.
through the
Yeah,
years.
Right. He's like, there's Brynja in the audience.
Yeah,
there she is.
My
Yeah.
girlfriend, honestly.
Yeah.
And but this time I wore a beautiful red velvet dress with a white lace collar.
Oh.
Yes, and
A la Princess Diana revenge dress.
Yes. And my sister and I and my mom and dad, and my dad would always slip the guy something at the front just to get us in the front row.
Right.
So
Like a
that's how it
roofie.
worked in those days. You would just,
Very
you could-
Italian.
But the most exciting thing was I had made Elvis a ring out of, back in those days, we did little beaded rings. And I made one extra wide and extra big for Elvis. And I
'Cause he had
thought,
some thickum.
I'm going to give it to him.
He had some thickum fingers. You know what that
listen,
means.
We know that Elvis was a big boy in more ways than one. If dare I say, the Pete Davidson
Of our day.
of the 50s and
Wow.
60s.
Yeah, I'd never thought like that. And,
Well,
but
I'm sure. Anyways.
I'm sure it was all
I
personality.
just thought that we would just immediately get to the wedding vows.
Yeah.
Anyway, the cutest thing was that when we were there and we were sitting in the front row, he came out and he would always serenade all the women, and the women would just freak out. And of course, I was the youngest in the audience at, I think at that point I was 12, actually. So we're just sitting there looking at him. My sister was wearing the same exact dress.
Oh, bitch.
Red
ruined.
velvet with seriously so cute.
But
And-
wow, cute. That I would be mad.
It was
I-
sophisticated.
If
though.
Hunter showed up in the same thing as me in front of my future husband,
Yeah.
trying to steal my spotlight, I don't know. There'd be a
But
brawl.
my sister wasn't going to go for Elvis, and she wasn't going to try and,
She was a Beatles guy. Beatles
she,
gal.
she was just very shy and quiet. He came out singing and, swooning and over all the girls, and everybody was screaming. And he came right over to me,
Of course.
and he leaned over. And he said, hi. And I said, I have made you this ring. And I gave it to him, and he put it on. And he gave me a little smooch and a kiss.
On
and I was
the
like,
mouth or the cheek?
just the cheek.
We need a title as Elvis is canceled.
I mean, truly, because we're talking about Elvis giving smooches to 12-year-olds. I mean,
Yeah.
we're really,
I know.
we're moving into some
Oh
questionable
my
territory.
God, that's so cute.
It was so cute, and he
though.
left a little makeup on the collar. And so when I went home, I took the dress and I hung it up, and I never allowed anyone to take it